she was saying she used to work in a school that obviously had like a lot of black people in it, and they're always trying to expel the students for no reason. Not no reason, but for reasons that they weren't expellable. It was just like, you can do it, so I was going to expel this person. But she was on a vibe of, because she was a black teacher in those rooms, she was like, nah, you can't expel him for that. It doesn't make sense. But apparently when she left, she's saying that a lot of the students that she used to teach were like, yeah, after you left, like they expelled loads of us and whatever. Like one student got expelled for squaring up to a teacher in a classroom. I'm like, I hear it's negative, but it's not expellable though. Like you didn't hit the teacher.
You squared up.
Just squared up to the teacher.
Yeah, but that's not normal.
It's not normal, but it's not expellable. That's expendable.
You can't square up to authority, bro.
It's not expellable, bro.
You think you can have a standoff with the police?
Of course you can.
What?
Of course you can. People
get in the police's face.
People do it all the time, but I've seen people do it all the time.
Why not get arrested?
Yeah, but boy, it depends on your colour. But I've seen it, bro.
Nah.
I've seen people at marches and all that, like going mad. Like look at that march, the anti-vax march in Trafalgar Square that time when people going mad.
No, but I think that's
you're squaring up to the police, bro.
No, I think that's the police being lenient because of the.
But you're still squaring up to the police, bro.
But the police might even believe in the cause that you're fighting for, but because they're doing their job.
Oh, they're overpowered. They're outnumbered, bro. Just got one person. You know what I mean? There's 50 of us to every one of you. So you know what I mean? It could get fizzy over here.
But yeah, I don't think students should be squaring up.
I'm not. Remember, you're forgetting. I'm not saying I promote that. I'm saying that's not expellable.
No, what I'm
expellable
saying is
if you hit the teacher. Like,
yeah, but
for example,
what I'm saying is you got to set a standard.
If you wait for the teacher outside.
Yeah, but every teacher.
But it depends on how often somebody squares up to teachers. You know what I mean? So you may not put your hands on the teacher, bro. You square up to me too many times, bro. Now I'm scared.
But not even too many times though. But if you could square up to a teacher, and all of a sudden I think it's okay to square up to the teacher.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
No, I'm blessed.
Oh, yeah. Let's cut that out. All these MMA fights, you know, like the smaller ones they do in the UK, it's kind of like, not in a bad way, but for context, like Sunday League MMA. You know, when people do these fights where someone's like, oh, buy tickets to my fight or whatever. I saw the purse for one of these fights, yeah? I was like, no way you man are getting mashed up like this for $1.50.
But they're not doing it for the money though.
Bro, what do you mean?
No, when they start fighting,
brother, have you seen what man look like after?
You're risking your life, bro.
No, but when they start... This is why I don't understand.
Brain damage, bro. Bills.
Bro, you got to start somewhere, bro.
But 150, not starting.
No, but I know, I hear it, Taze.
No, but okay, but wait. When you're training, yeah.
Not starting.
No, but when you're okay, let me ask you a question. When you're training, yeah, as a fighter, do you want the person you're fighting to fight you as in training, or take it as if like real life?
No, I hear you, but what I'm just saying to you is, I told you, look, when I used to box before, yeah.
What?
No, but when you say you used to box, you're saying it as if like you were training as a boxer.
I used to go to the boxing gym every Tuesday and Thursday in Beckton, yeah, or Royal Victoria. So we used to proper box. It was like me. There was quite a few of us. Daryl, Dixon was there. Daniel, Matthew, Derek. There was bare of us used to go. Anyway, then they were like, "Oh, we want you to start fighting amateurs." Like, I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'll do amateurs, whatever." So they were weighing everyone. When they weighed, man was like the lowest of my weight. But I could fight somebody at the highest of my weight. There was a big difference. I said, I'm not even fighting. Still made no sense. Fighting someone that's what, two, 3 tons heavier than me? That'll be silly. I said, nah.
That's like heavyweights, isn't it?
I think I was like, not cruiserweight or waterweight or something like I can't remember what it is.
Because you're tall as well. You're
yeah. So I was just like, but I was the lightest. Remember, I got like low body fat and that. So I was light in terms of my weight category.
Yeah, I know.
So technically speaking, me and you could be in the same category of weight.
Yeah. What?
Doesn't make no sense, bro.
Well, your fighting style might be different to mine, though.
I hear you, but in terms of if you're punching, man, and you're putting your weight behind it, I'm feeling that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
The whole point is I'm not supposed to land.
But you will. Eventually, you're going to land in it.
You can't think like that, though.
But my point is, going back to the point, I wasn't getting paid. If I was getting paid, just do it.
Okay, cool, but that's you.
If you said to me 150, I'm still not doing it.
Right, but what I'm saying is that's you. There's certain people that, listen, this is what they
want to do. That's a weekend at JD.
That's you.
There's a weekend at JD, bro.
Weekend.
Work Saturday. Work Saturday and Sunday. JD Oxford Street. You're walking home with 150.
Yeah, but I want to fight.
You might not win.
Okay, I still want to fight.
Nah, it's long. Then fight.
The way man
I'm fighting for 150.
Nah, it's not enough.
Bro, the way man look after them fights sometimes, bro, like, nah.
I'm just saying, MMA, someone had to start somewhere. Where do you think these men started, bro? You had to get to the ring
But
to be
I don't
5-0.
I don't
The way man are
understand
getting fists up.
I don't understand how dangerous MMA is, bro.
I never said it was normal.
That's my point. Is
What,
in like
Bill 50
you're
Taser?
risking your life for a Bill 50.
Okay, so what's a decent entry point?
Not a Bill 50. I'm not saying this.
Compare them, don't
no,
get paid,
not,
you know?
The thing is, I'm not even saying the money is, you know what I mean, or they
Give me
should
at
be
least a
getting
bag,
more or
bruv,
whatever.
for starting out,
It's
bruv.
it's understandable that the, you know what I mean, it's relative to what the competition
Okay,
makes.
but you see but do you see their frustration? Because Lippy said it's not me, yeah? I think Lippy said he got paid 20 bags for his one. Wicked and Bad. Fighting Taze.
So I hear it for yeah.
No,
if
I'm
you-
just saying.
No, I hear
So
it.
KSI's purse is way bigger than these men who have been training 10, 15 years.
Yeah, but if someone said to me 20 bags to have a fight tomorrow, I'd negotiate, but I'm gonna do it, bro. 20 bags. But allow me, bud.
So about
You
them-
won't even see me from. You
So
won't
about
see
them
me. I'll
per-
just train properly.
how,
bruv.
how much did Swam get for his fight?
I don't
Probably a
know.
bit more.
Because I heard he got serious though. He's training again for another one.
Yeah, he needs
Yeah, I
to.
see him lose mad weight. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
in decent shape. I think the funniest thing I've seen, you know, fight wise is
That was terrible.
you know, what's his name? Israel Adesanya when he won his
He knocked that man. He
No,
knocked
no,
that
but
man.
see, you man, you see the thing where he banters the guy's son and he falls over. What you man didn't notice is, you know, everyone is scrambling behind because the other dude, he looked dead.
The other
So
dude was
that, bro,
finished,
it
bro.
was funny, Marvin, because I was like, they're not even sure if this nigga's alive. So the youth son is crying. He thinks his dad's dead in the back, bro, because my man's finished. I was watching it. I was like, when all of this is done, he might not wake up. Bruh, if you saw him, you know they pick up that.
You know what's funny, yeah? The way he said it, it was like, all right, last time man got beat, whatever, like, I saw his son and his son was in the ring and he done the whole drop dead thing. I said, all right, cool. So I looked at his dad, I looked at him and I done the whole dead. I said, that's petty still.
Man had to locate man in the crowd first. He looked at him like, look at this 10-year-old over there. I'm going to give you nightmares forever.
All right, so this is according to some random article, yeah, but it says KSI guaranteed himself a payday of $1 million whilst his opponent grabbed Swam's 350K, and then the other guy remember he fought two guys, the Pineda guy, 250K.
Bad.
350 bags
And
for,
he got to
for
get,
2 minutes.
to get banged in his face once.
But remember, that's the purse. So, like, but then again, it depends if them lot had any points on the pay-per-view.
No, but also if you watch videos of like trainers when they speak about like boxers' purses and then how much gets deducted, brother.
Yeah, because remember
It
the
is
fight,
a
the fight,
joke.
the
Yeah, it's mad,
thingy,
but
the
I-
camp.
I'm
Yeah,
not-
Camp
yeah.
is expensive.
I don't need no camp.
What do you mean?
You train solo.
If you feel, I'll train, brother. I'll go boxing gym. Like cake. What's the ones with the classes where they do the
Yeah, that's what?
brother? Telling you, bro.
No, their camp.
Wait.
Box KO. What they call box KO?
Oh, I thought you meant Kazumba.
No. Box KO or them kind of gym there, brother.
I'm
I'm
saying he
not.
wants to go train with info for his fight.
I don't. Man, I don't need no.
That's
Brother,
what the group sessions with the ladies.
I'm not splitting no purse, bro. With no trainer, blood.
But you have to though.
No.
They take you in.
Yeah, I'll take me out.
And because that's why with AJ, do you remember the one there was years ago where AJ was like when he goes into one of his camps and it was this, you know what I mean, this yard where it was just basic yard
in,
and the
in
sofa
in Sheffield.
and people were complaining about the crib and he was like, listen, I'm just here to just train essentially. I'm not trying to spend hella peas on stuff I shouldn't be spending peas on.
Also, I don't understand this whole it's not even pocket watching, yeah, but people looking at you telling you what you should buy. You know when like for example, Ardy said he bought his mum a Mini.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, why didn't you get her a Lambo? What am I getting her a Lambo for? What's she going to do with the Lambo?
She can't handle that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and she writes it off. I think it was Kendrick Lamar as well. He bought his sister a Mitsubishi or something like that. And then everyone was like, oh, why didn't you get her like a Range or a Lambo? It's like, come on, man.
No, but with him it's like, but that's the cost she wanted.
Yeah.
That's the cost she chose.
And I think it's the same with Ardy as well. His mum wanted
You're like, that's what the person wants. Why am I going to then go and buy the person a car they can't handle or whatever? Because remember, when you buy someone a car, this is for you to maintain, essentially. Because think about it. Right now, Marvin, if someone gave you a Bugatti Chiron for free, what are you going to do with it?
Sell it.
Exactly. Because because think about it. Even if you want to drive it, bro, how long could you maintain that? You can't. Bro, literally one tire goes and they're telling you it's 22 racks for a full set of tires. The what?
Yeah, and you can't just change one tire. You got to
sell a
change all
kidney.
four.
Where they're telling you if there's something wrong, send it back to France for... You know what I mean, bro? I can't even send myself to France. You'll send the whole car to France. and then they're telling you he's got 11 radiators. What are you going to do with it? So some things people don't think about what that's like for somebody that is receiving said gift. There's nothing worse than someone giving you a gift you can't maintain.
Yeah.
Now what am I supposed to do?
Did you see the interview with what's his name? Eddie Hearn. He talked about
Conor Ben and
Nigel Benn. And,
Yeah.
And he was saying negotiations are mad.
Yeah.
That he was saying, for example, Conor Ben was like he wanted to be Eubank. But like it's Eubank versus Ben.
No, it's like firstly they negotiate the money first, didn't it?
No, with the money, but then he said that's obvious though. Like negotiating money is obvious, but he's like there's bare stuff you don't see. So it's like Eubank versus Ben. So they went to Conor and said, yeah, is it all right to have Eubank versus Ben? They're like, no, it's got to be Ben versus Eubank. He's like, allow it. He's gone, do you know what? You can do Eubank versus Ben, but I'm coming at second. So he's gone to Eubank and said, all right, good news. They said they'll do Eubank versus Ben. But he's coming out second. No, he's not coming out second. Because normally the challenger comes out first. Or the person with the belt.
But because no one had the thingy for this fight.
That's part of the negotiations you don't see.
Do you care about stuff like that?
But sometimes it's psychological, isn't it?
No, but would you care is what I'm asking you.
Bro?
Yeah, I would a little bit.
So you want to come out first or second?
Second. It's psychological though. Because remember, you're waiting for me in the ring.
No, but if you're a challenger...
No, I hear that's different. If I'm a challenger, then what is what is. But I'm saying, but if you've got a choice... It's kind of like the flick of the coin in penalties. I can't remember the stat, but there's a way that you say that. I can't remember who, but if I can't remember. You might have to Google it. But they were saying I think it is the person who tends to go first for penalties. Is it first or second? Anyway, I'll Google it. There's a science to it.
This is what I like battle rap, man. So if you're angry, you don't care where you go, bro. Man would say, "Hey, yo," and then just start cooking, bro.
No, but the way he was describing it is like it's just difficult because you agree one thing and you think you've got this, but then something else comes up. So he was like, initially, he's like, "Cool, you go in and you just, you figure out the money." So let's say they'll say 60-40 towards the bigger person. So he'll say, "Cool, we've negotiated, the money. 60-40 goes to my man." He's like, "Cool, we've got 60-40. I want it to be Ben v Eubank, not Eubank v Ben. You know what I mean? So it's like, fuck. So it's like, cool, we've negotiated the money though, so that's cool. So he's gone back now to my man, and he's like, cool, they've agreed to the money, but they want it to be, and he's like, I'm not having that.
Wait, and this is being done via emails and stuff like that?
Yeah, they're going back and forth, so it's like your team's doing that.
Why wouldn't you just sit in a room one day?
But no, but it's your team doing that because there's just tiny little things. Even with me, bro, when you're dealing with investors and you have multiple people on board, bro, and you have your terms, your contracts, and so on, bro. I was dealing with 5 different people's lawyers. So you can sit here and say 4 people are in agreement about something. One person's lawyer doesn't like this. So now you're sitting there for weeks on end, getting this right or whatever, because just one set of lawyers doesn't like anything. And sometimes you'll find the little things you deal with are made bigger by your lawyer. Or something you might not even give a damn about. And your lawyer's like, nah, we can't give into this because of XYZ. So you're sitting there, it's not even that big of a deal for you. Your lawyer's like, we're not having that. So now the whole thing is being held up by your lawyers bumping heads. Sometimes the best thing to do is like sit in a fucking room together and we figure this out, because lawyers can lose you business sometimes, because lawyers, when they get into their lawyer bag, they just do what lawyers do essentially. And sometimes it's not even, you're like, okay, now you're just longing this out now, and it's turning into something.
And sometimes you might even hear something, and you might be like, hold on, I would have said yes to that.
Yeah. And your lawyer's like, nah.
Yeah.
You don't want that. I'm like, nigga, I don't care. Your lawyer's like, nah, trust me, I'm a lawyer. No, bro.
I can't lie to you. Sometimes the gentleman agreement's better than getting lawyers involved in
No, sometimes definitely. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, negotiations can be so difficult sometimes, because all it is, people get stuck on the tiny details. You know what I mean? Where you're like, really? You're like, this is, and you're like, this is inconsequential. At the end of the day, you're like, who the hell cares? But those people are not budging. And you're looking at it as like, are we really going to lose all of this money because of this? And people are like, we're not budging. I want to come out first. If we don't, there's no fight. But you're like, bro, it doesn't matter who comes out first. When you fight, you get $500,000. Nah, don't want that.
Do you know what? Well, based on what Marv said, there must be like some psychological edge to some of these things, because
there's always psychological edge.
You want everything to
flow. Even here is saying that in terms of the penalty toss, they've found that like the second, if you go second, there's more pressure, because if the team the team ahead of you score, you have to score.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's pressure on the second penalty taker. But they're saying that some teams do it so that if they've got a really good keeper, it doesn't matter that they go second on purpose because they know that keeper's probably going to save one of the penalties and then they go after. They said it depends on the strategy. They said, but 60% of captains that won the toss tend to win the penalty shootout.
60%. No, that's a high percentage.
But they said 51% that go first. So there's not much difference between first and second, but pressure mounts.
I was going to say, speaking of boxing, or even anything to do with competitive sports, yeah, I'm a man that likes it when there's a story, like there's revenge or there's vengeance behind it, yeah. So even just seeing the face-off between Chamberlain and Lawal, they're fighting on the 27th of May. But
I want to go to that.
Yeah, just seeing the way they faced off and it looked personal. I want to watch that fight because he's looking at man like, I will tear your head off. And you know how Chamberlain is. Remember my man that we had at the box that we had on Free Shots, Lemon Free Shots? The tall black brother. He listens to the pod.
You've seen Chamberlain.
You've seen Chamberlain, man.
I know Chamberlain. No, I thought you meant the other guy. I know.
Yeah,
I know Chamberlain.
he's fighting on 27th. Yeah, the brother that he was with, this brother wants to tear his head off. I heard the brother's good though.
Yeah, but I think that other brother was saying that he was vexed because if you seen the clip when he won the fight and Chamberlain comes at the back.
No.
So basically, what's the other guy's name? Lawal, yeah?
Lawal, yeah.
He won a fight, and then like when you're sitting ringside, no top on, just after the boxing fight, your trainer's there interviewing you, and then Chamberlain came round and was like, hey, well done on the fight, well done, bro, whatever. So he was Lawal saying that he's...
Oh no, I did see this video. He said he didn't think anything of it at the time, but his brethren is like, yo, hey, man, trying to small boy,
So Chamberlain was saying, if you didn't see a problem with it,
why is it a problem?
Why is it a problem? But Lawal's saying, nah, when I thought about it, you took my moment because that was my moment to have an interview. Why are you jumping in my interview? So that was the back and forth in it, and do you know what I'm saying? But Chamberlain, remember, I don't know, Chamberlain's a more experienced boxer out of the two, and I feel like Chamberlain's had the bigger fights, especially the Lawrence Okoli fight.
Yeah.
That came maybe a little too early for Chamberlain at that time. Because remember, Chamberlain, he looked a lot smaller then.
Yeah.
Now he's kind of got bigger, and do you know what I'm saying? So even what's his name as well? Is it Fabio something? I can't remember his name. Wardley, the guy from Ipswich.
No.
I think Fraser. He wants to fight Fraser Clark.
Yeah, he's gonna have a boxer, and I don't know if he listens to the pod. I think he does, as well. But we follow each other. That's another one. It's interesting that with boxing, you're seeing their journey. There's even another one as well that won the British title the other day. Oh, what's his name again, man?
Isn't it Fraser Clark?
No.
Shout out Sonny Edwards. Though.
Begins with D.
He listens to the pod as well.
What's his name again, man? It begins with D. And actually, he's always with my cousin. What's his name?
IBF World Champion.
What's his name?
Sonny Edwards. He listens to the pod as well.
Oh, okay, cool. Shout out my man. What's his name again, man?
But yeah, so the point I was trying to make is I like when there's bad blood between the two teams or the two people fighting or competing, whatever. It just makes the duel, should I say, just that more interesting. So even watching the AJ fight,
garbage.
Do you know what I mean?
And not because AJ is garbage, but because it's too much PR. Like back in the day, man was see you fight in the studio, bruv. Remember Lennox Lewis and what's his name? Raheem Ahmed or something. In the studio, next minute, Lennox Lewis's feet were in the air, bruv. Them man said, what you say to me? What? Next minute, bang, Lennox Lewis's feet in the air, security running in, that was real bad blood. Nowadays it's PR,
the burner out on Ali.
Even when he grabbed the mic and he was talking, I kind of got what he was trying to say. To me, what AJ was trying to say was, I'm AJ, so you lot keep saying you're putting me up against these bums allegedly, but no, these men are training for a big fight.
Basically,
so
AJ,
they come in the ring and they're fighting, man. You lot thought I was just gonna roll over this Don. Nah, man, he made it hard. I respect him.
I hear you, but what AJ is basically saying is, I'm the big dog that the scout. You know, when Man United or Liverpool play a bottom of the league team, they raise their game for them. I hear that, but it should be still beating them.
He beat them.
No, I'm not. I'm saying as in Liverpool shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be a struggle.
Who's bottom of the league, for example? To be fair, you got beat by Nottingham Forest. To be fair,
that's what I'm saying. Liverpool's in the mud right now.
It's rough.
It's rough. But I'm just saying, AJ won his fight. He's just saying, listen, cool, because I think the conversation stemmed from there's another video that he dropped and he goes, whenever Fury's ready, I'll fight him. But then everyone's looking at it like, big man, you just fought Franklin and it didn't look like you was ready for Fury. So which one is it? But then I don't know how boxing works.
But that's what I'm saying.
Can I hold back my game?
No, but I think the thing is with boxing, it's
mind control over.
Yeah, like.
Huh? Bet you didn't see that coming. I've been losing on purpose.
Imagine that still.
But I got mind control over Debo.
Weighs him in.
That's the game plan. I lost 3 on purpose just to weigh man in. No, but my thing is, the PR is like, if somebody asks you as AJ, who do you want to fight next? He cannot say, I don't want to fight Fury because it seems like you're scared.
No, because I think AJ's already said I want to fight, but again, the politics with like sorting out the logistics, the purses and all of that. Remember, AJ's Fury sitting there like, bro, I want for 50 mil, make it happen.
And the thing of Fury will say, I'm the lead here. But the maddest thing is
he's doing with my man.
Yeah. The maddest thing is though,
70-30.
when you break it down, it's like that's what Andy Joshua is still like for me. The biggest boxer the UK have because he sells seats. Like Fury might be the best boxer on paper, but Fury, like when he had the fight with Chisora, no one cared, bro.
No one wants to see that fight.
No, but I'm saying, but no one cared. If it was Joshua against Chisora, people would have watched that.
I don't know.
Nah, I'm telling you, like the thing that you got to look at, it like.
Did you see the Chisora interview? He said, "Stop putting it in my mouth."
Oh, the mic.
Oh, where he's wailing out.
Yeah.
And people were saying something's wrong with him.
Then he started smiling at the end. Chisora just plays around, bro. He's
people were saying he's tapped. Like, bro, the way people are diagnosing him and stuff like, because they were saying he's got CTE.
No, do you know what it is though? You see with Chisora reminds me of those guys on the ends, yeah, where like you catch them on a good day, they're cool with you, they remember you, they know your name. And then one day you catch them and they're like, look at you like, who the fuck are you?
Catch them to fuck off.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
we did around here, fuck off. But I know. Get out of here. You know, they run off.
Yeah, but I live there, stand outside my house. Yeah,
are you sure? Yeah,
it reminds me of those kind of guys. Even
he got beat up by Fury though.
He was tired, bro.
No. See his face against Fury. Oh my god.
Yeah, he was tired, bro.
Fury
he was tired by like round 4.
I said no, but his face was like
he was there for the monies.
Yeah, that's him.
He got.
I don't think
Fury helping his brethren get some money on his way out.
Yeah.
That's literally. And
Keith, imagine I help you get money, but I still fish up in the process.
Well, you thought it was free. You didn't say it was free. I said you get some money. You know what I mean? I didn't say this shit was free.
Remember, you're a man that used to fight for £150. So what's a couple of haymakers for 3 M's, bro? Like, do you know?
Hold that.
You know
what I mean? Hold that.
Dylan White cracks me up though. When he said, Chisora, you're just a journeyman. You're not even a real fighter. You're just a journeyman. You're a donkey. You're a donkey.
Dylan White's funny though. His trash talking is too funny.
Dylan White is the funniest body in boxing.
Yeah, his trash talking is too funny.
No, Dylan and Tazer Fury are the two funniest in boxing.
The thing is, I think the thing is Marvin wants to see it's like them Russian. Have you seen like Russian fights, MMA? Have you seen what when they're having their weigh-ins and stuff like the face off, brother?
Them man bang each other.
Brother, one brother had his hand behind he's got his hands behind his back. Man just knocked him up, bro. It's like, brother, the way. And there's one other brother, yeah, he's like, by the step and repeat. So he's there, he's taking pictures with one woman or whatever. This brother comes across, boom, bro. It's like, imagine you're not expecting. You're not expecting. Man went straight through the step and repeat, bro. Man's at the back, they're just laid out.
Well, I think he done something to the brother earlier on. The brother said, all right, cool, watch. So when everyone breaks it up.
In most places, the fight is off. In them places, the fight still goes on.
So then when he saw the opportunity, he ran in and just went bang.
Who's the next prize fighter? Like, as in like the next Floyd?
Tank.
I was it's Javonte Davis, isn't
He's fighting, Tank. What's his name?
Garcia, innit?
Garcia next.
Yeah. Garcia's good as well. They're both good.
Yeah.
The Tank is just a different beast, bro. But Garcia's good as well. He's
tiny
fast.
As well,
Tiny, bro.
I think I've seen him in person.
Tiny.
I think he was with Adrian Broner when I was in.
They're tiny as well.
Small. Yeah, brother, them man are small, bro.
Adrian Broner, he wasted his everything, bro.
I just feel like
Adrian Broner's like the baby.
I think he went through something though. You could see.
I saw your post today about the baby. It's true. The way you worded it was so true. He just woke up one day and just decided to cancel his career, blood. Because he didn't need to do that.
Yeah, but when sometimes when you're flying high, yeah.
You think I'm untouchable?
Too high, bro.
It's the same thing. To be fair, it's the same in KSI.
You're untouchable, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like.
But can I validate my point? The reason why I don't understand the whole KSI uproar, yeah. Obviously, I understand it because of what he said.
I like to say, whoa, buddy.
No. As in,
to visit Imam.
No. I don't hold him as a role model. because they've dropped a video before, where they got a game where you put your hand on the table and it's like they bring up bare different things to kind of scare you, so your hands come off the table and you lose. So I think there's like 7 of them that were playing that game. Anyway, the last 2 was Zerka and Bazinga, the 2 white guys, and the rest of them who have come off the table have gone to the corner to like kind of deliberate, what should we do to scare them, like move their hands off the table. KSI's like, I got an idea. But if he gets on the table and he takes his willy out and he just starts pissing on them, and they're just there laughing. Watch the rest on Patreon. I said, this promo vid is mad. Do you think you can take your willy out and start pissing?
See, you know what? We can't just put that on that because the certain man shat in Miles' bag.
No, but Miles said that weren't true.
So Steve-O shat in his bag.
It was Steve-O. No, but we didn't see it.
Shat in his bag?
No, Steve-O shat in a bag, apparently, that Specs held open for him. And then he tied the bag and then he put it in Miles' bag. So when Miles came in, he's like, what's that? They're like, oh, it must be your bag. He's looked in and there's shit in his bag. Apparently. But he said they never shat in his bag. Allegedly. I can't speak on that because I don't know. But their type of banter wouldn't fly here. It wouldn't fly here.
It wouldn't fly anyway.
It wouldn't fly. No, if it flies over there.
Barely.
But there's certain things that
shat in man's
do
bag.
No, but you say that, but I just feel like, I don't think they're doing that to anyone at Filthy.
Exactly.
So it doesn't fly over there. They're not doing that. I don't think they're putting that in Savage Dan's bag.
But the whole reason why this became a conversation is
they
because
don't put
they
that in
did it.
Savage Dan's bag.
No, but there's certain man that they do it to.
I don't think they'll put it in Poet's bag.
That's why but that was when they were going through that phase of like always getting onto Miles.
Okay.
Because now Miles ain't having it.
You can.
He's comfy now. He's comfy man in his face.
You're saying now you should have never had it, bro.
No. I know, but you know, like when you first kind of, you know, when someone always becomes the butt of the joke. Because we used to say it to Miles as well. Like we get his banter, but bro, someone random is gonna try and chat to you, and it's not that. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's gone past that stage. But initially it was that. Because even when he was sitting outside begging for followers, remember he's got. Hey, you seen it? The picture on his Instagram where he's like, I beg you lot, get me to 10K. If that was Miles in Northwest, he would have never done that. So because he was in that space, maybe Steve-O's convinced him more. I don't know, innit? I don't know.
But you know, it's weird though, because I feel like when you're in certain spaces, you adapt to what space you are. So for example, when I used to play football, I was a centre mid, but then when I used to play at Charlton, they made me a centre back. So when I was playing centre back, I didn't play football like I normally do. Not because
a different role.
Not
That's
just.
what
I thought. I thought you get your bum smacked in the showers and that.
No, not like that. But I'm just saying, as in like, but because I came into the centre back, they didn't think I could play in midfield. So like creatively, they didn't believe I had any creativity. I was just.
But wouldn't you show them in training?
No, but in training it doesn't work like that, because in training you tend to play in zones, innit? And you learn like to kick the ball with the outside of the foot into the foot, like you learn tactics.
So where do you say what position you are?
You come in with that position. The only time you might is if maybe someone's missing and then you fill in and you do well in that position and you're like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying I get it that like sometimes when you're in a role, like you can't, I know it sounds weird, but you can't control that role. That's why, for example, there's certain times where you see like a footballer and he might be, I don't know, like dope at another team, move to another team, and you're like, this can't be the same. But look at Grealish at City and look at Grealish at Villa. Yeah, 2 different players. But now Grealish is kind of coming into his own, but he's changing the play. He's not the same player he was at Villa, but he's had to grow into that player. But when he first came into City, he tried to play like that Grealish and he couldn't.
That's not why we bought you.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying like with Miles at Filthy, maybe it's that to fit in Filthy, he had to adopt that role and he couldn't do anything else because that persona wasn't celebrated at Filthy. Do you know what I'm saying?
I've known Miles since he was in year 5. And even how I met Miles was funny. Miles got sent down a year.
What?
This is what I'm
Can't
saying.
make this up.
But
he just said them on a bantering, man. Man said he was sent back a year.
He did though, but he didn't get sent down. No, he got sent down a year. So basically, Miles and there's Miles and there's DZ. Anyone who's listening knows DZ. Troublemaker, yeah, but he's cool. One of the man. They're both in year 6. They're both older than me. I'm in year 5. They're in year 6. But there's 2 classes per year. So they're being troublesome in one class in year 6. So they said we're going to send you out and split you. So obviously they've sent DZ to the other year 6 classroom, and then they've sent Miles to year 5, my classroom. So he's not he wasn't in my class to learn. They just needed him to go somewhere else, and the head teacher was like,
Do
"No."
you know how bad you have to be to get sent a year down?
Yeah, so
a whole year, fam.
The running joke is, "Oh, you got sent down a year."
They should have
No,
said-
you
but
just
Well, I
came
would have
into my
gone to a new
class.
school. Are you crazy?
Nah, he just came to my class temporarily.
What kind of stupid school's that?
It was temporarily.
No,
it was
but
like,
if you- no,
it was
but
like
if-
2 days. It's
no,
like for a day or something.
No, I hear
Oh,
you. No, I hear that.
I
But,
thought
Yeah,
you went-
it went indefinite. No. But
Oh.
obviously, the running joke is right. You got sent down a year.
no,
It's
but
like,
technically speaking, send DZ to that class and leave Miles in this class. They're separated. Done.
oh no, I think the teacher was done with them. Like, because these, when I say DZ's calmed down a lot now. Back in the day, because Miles ain't a troublemaker. Miles is actually a good you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but most men weren't really.
No. There's some man that.
Those men were mad. But generally speaking, most kids were cool in school. We just like to chat and bust joke and whatever. Teachers say the same thing all the time. And one time at a parents' evening, my teacher, Mr. West, I'll never forget.
His name's Mr. West.
Yeah, Mr. West. He supported
sick.
Leicester City. So
Kanye, yeah.
he was like, what did he say? Marvin's a great lad, but he's got more rabbit than Sainsbury's. I'm just looking at my mum and dad like,
He's got more what?
rabbit than Sainsbury's. It means like you talk a lot, innit? Like, you know, like one of them sayings, innit?
They would have said that to my dad. My dad would have been like,
But when he said that, but then he backed it. He was like, nah, but Marvin's good, he's cool, whatever. Mr. Mosafari, if you're watching, you pussy, yeah, this brother tried to end my life, brother, at parents' evening, brother. What? The next day, everyone said, nah. When we came into his class the next day, everyone was on smoke for this teacher. We're like, nah, you tried it, sir. Don't try it, man. Nah, don't talk to us. We were on to him next day.
He said he's
What? Nah, he got finished. Brother, I cannot teach. Marvin's the most disruptive player in the school. I just can't teach when he's around. I'm thinking, bro, do you know what you're doing to me right now? Brother, like, you are like, you could get me sent to Nigeria, bro. What are you doing? And I'm thinking, bro, and there's man in his class that tried to beat him up. There's man that tried to throw chairs at him, told him to F off. Brother, I've done none of that. All I've done was talk, but I'm the most disruptive one in the class.
No, but do you know how disruptive talking is, though?
Brother, do you know how disruptive a chair being in front of you is? Being told to fuck off is, as a teacher. Brother, man tried to fight you, bro.
What, in your class?
In my class, the parents tried to fight him.
Yeah, but you don't know what you said to that parent.
Brother, he said I'm the most disruptive person in the class to my mum and dad.
Yeah, but ratio.
But long term, maybe
Yeah,
you were long
ratio.
term. You know,
You're talking-
Mel
I mean-
throw a chair once every few months.
Exactly.
You're
There's
talking
100
every
lessons,
day.
You're speaking in 99.
Nah, you
Come
sicko,
on, man.
Sicko, bro. So what's worse then? What's worse?
Oh, a man throwing the chair once.
No, what's worse in life? So a murderer or someone
Murdered once.
murders once or someone who steals every day?
You're stealing every day,
Wait,
bro. You're
depends
fucking my
what you're stealing. What
business
you
up.
stealing?
I don't know, to say crisps.
You're fucking my business up.
What's worse?
You're a nuisance.
What's going to get a longer time in prison?
Murder.
There you go. Exactly.
That means you're not a
Throwing the chair is
nuisance.
murder, though, bro.
Bro, you're terrorizing me.
My school was a
You're
madness.
stealing every day. You are terrorizing.
One of my teachers had a heart attack during a lesson as well.
How bad were you people?
Yeah, Mr. Let me not say his name, but he had a heart attack.
But
during
you know,
the lesson,
when
bro.
we had this
He
conversation,
proper held his chest like. Then he went away, and he came back, and he was like not a high, but he was like, "Hi guys, how you doing?" Everyone was like,
same time.
"No." Like he went away,
When you say went away, as in what? As in
not same time as in like he was off school for like
okay, cool.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then when he came back, he was cool in it, but he was like, it's like he was overcompensating to. It's like the doctor said to him, "Listen, you can't take things too seriously. You have to be happy. Force yourself to be jolly."
He's got a new lease of life.
So when he came in, he had this new lease of life. Hi. They got him again, bruv.
Who's they got him
The man them got him again. I just remember him holding his chest and saying, "You done this to me." Hey, I think it was Chiba. He got the G. You done this to me. He had his pills.
Kids.
Like he was going mad, and I think he got his pills, and then he like, you know when they take their pills and have a drink. He's like, "You done this to me."
No, but on a serious
I
note,
said, "Fuck."
No, but on a serious note, though, I don't think people take
Teach
that
is hard, bro.
No, not even teaching. I'm talking about like stress, like welcoming stress into your life.
Yeah.
The impact it has on your body.
Yeah. So it's dangerous, bro.
Like your hair can fall. Like, do you know what? Let me Google it so people don't think I'm just chatting shit. Yeah. But because you don't know where it's coming from.
Now sometimes you do, but you just can't deal with it.
No, but like for example, if you got like an annoying girl ringing your line.
Yeah, you can block her, but
No, but I'm saying to the point where your hair's falling out. But you should have blocked her a time
it
ago.
can never happen.
I think it can never
It
happen.
never happen. The girl can never
With
happen.
no hair, that's why.
You're cheap. What's the under the do-rag? I'm growing it, bro.
The video in America of this teacher, he's in class and he's holding the door, and this girl, big girl.
Oh yeah, I see that
she's
one.
trying brother,
She's strong, boy.
bro, the way that door,
Because she's trying to get the person outside the class, isn't it?
Yeah, no, inside, because she's outside the class.
Okay,
So she's
yeah.
pulling the door open.
Yeah.
And they are out here trying to hold this door. The teacher's called the youth to come help. You know what I mean? And the girl's literally, she's going crazy, bro. She's smashing. I was like, do not let that girl into that class because no one can stop her.
America's nuts because, like, if I think about school, you can just go home and get a gun, bruv. And just
You're saying it like some of them don't have it on them.
No, I'm saying, but if you have a problem, like, with there's one clip I saw where I don't know, there was a boy with a backpack, a white boy, and it was just some girl was bothering him, and he's like, "Oh, move, man." Anyway, he's turned around to walk off, and she's grabbed his backpack like, "Nah, where you going?" Pulled him back. Then she's hit him. So as she's hit him, he's like, "What are you doing?" Bang! He's hit her, but he got rushed by the whole school.
Jesus.
I'm like,
no one was saying nothing when he was banging him up.
I'm like, I hear it, but where was everyone originally? Because when he grabbed his backpack, because he was trying to walk away, but that's someone that, I'm coming back to shut up the whole school, bruv. If that's me personally, get rushed by the whole year. Fire off your bun, bro. Listen, I'm letting it off. America, that's what I'm saying. America's dangerous because it's just, and I think they're passing a lot more laws in America that you don't need like licenses.
Florida.
No, even I think Atlanta, they done the same thing. I think there was like another, I think state of Texas or something, where like back in the day you had to have, you had to go through checks, you had to have a license in order to carry a weapon. Now there's no checks, no license.
Just go buy one.
Just go and buy one, bro.
Well, going back to the conversation I had before, stress is a normal human reaction that happens to everyone. In fact, the human body is designed to experience stress and react to it. When you experience changes or challenges, your body produces physical and mental responses. That is what is called stress. Stress can be positive, keeping us alert, motivated, and ready to avoid danger. For example, if you have an important test coming up, a stress response might help your body work harder and stay awake longer. But then obviously stress becomes a problem.
Like adrenaline.
Yeah.
Adrenaline is something that kicks in when you're...
But it can become a problem when it continues without relief or periods of relaxation. So what happens to the body during stress? Your body's nervous system controls its heart rate, breathing, vision, all of that. Inbuilt stress response or fight or flight response helps the body face stressful situations. Physical symptoms of stress can include aches and pains, chest pains or feeling like your heart is racing, exhaustion, trouble sleeping, headaches, dizziness, shaking, high blood pressure. Ooh, okay. Muscle tension and jaw clenching, stomach and digestive problems, troubles having sex, and a weak immune system.
So you get meat problems.
Emotionally and mental symptoms could be anxiety, depressions, panic attacks, and sadness.
Do you know, okay, I'm sorry.
And then people with chronic stress can often try to manage it with unhealthy behaviors such as drinking alcohol too much, gambling, overeating, developing an eating disorder, participating compulsively in sex, shopping or internet browsing, smoking and using drugs.
Boy.
I was like, saying about lifestyle.
I think we all got a problem there. God, man ticks a few of them boxes still. But what I was saying is, I was talking to one of my friends, she's a teacher, innit? We had like a proper conversation the other day. And like, she was like, teaching right now is, she said it's so mad that, I don't even know where to start this conversation, but she was saying she used to work in a school that obviously had like a lot of black people in it. And they're always trying to expel the students for no reason. Not no reason, but for reasons that they weren't expellable. It was just like, you can do it, so I was going to expel this person. But she was in a vibe of, because she was a black teacher in those rooms, she was like, nah, you can't expel him for that. It doesn't make sense. But apparently when she left, she's saying that a lot of the students that she used to teach were like, yeah, after you left, like they expelled loads of us and whatever. Like one student got expelled for squaring up to a teacher in a classroom. I'm like, I hear it's negative, but it's not expellable though. Like you didn't hit the teacher.
You squared up though.
Just squared up to the teacher.
Yeah, but that's not normal.
It's not normal, but it's not expellable. That's expendable.
You can't square up to a 40, bro.
It's not expellable, bro.
You think you can have a standoff with the police?
Of course you can.
What?
Of course you can. People
get in the police's face.
People do it all the time. But I've seen people do it all the time.
Why not get arrested?
Yeah. But boy, it depends on your colour, but I've seen it, bro.
Nah.
I've seen people at marches and all that, like going mad. Like look at that march, the anti-vax march. in Trafalgar Square that time when people were going mad.
No, but I
Police
think
were there.
I think that's
You're squaring up to the police, bro.
No, I think that's the police being lenient because of the.
But you're still squaring up to the police,
but
bro.
but the police might even believe in the cause that you're fighting for, but because they're doing their job.
Oh, they're overpowered. They're outnumbered, bro. Just got one person. You know what I mean? There's 50 of us to every one of you. So you know what I mean? It could get fizzy over here.
But yeah, I don't think students should be squaring up.
I'm
to
not.
teachers,
Remember,
man.
you're forgetting. I'm not saying I promote that. I'm saying that's not expellable.
No, what I'm
Expellable
saying
is if you hit the teacher, like for
what I'm
example,
saying is you got to set a standard.
if you wait for the teacher outside.
Yeah, but every teacher.
But it depends on how often somebody squares up
Yeah,
to
like-
teachers. You know what I mean? So
And
you
then-
may not put your hands on the teacher, bro. You square up to me too many times, bro. Now you're.
No, but even,
I'm
even
Yeah,
scared
yeah,
now.
no,
but not
but-
even
but-
too many
but the
times
thing-
though. But if you could square up to a teacher, and all of a sudden I think it's okay to square up to the teacher.
You don't get. Yeah, but I hear you. But there's consequences to every action. But if, for
You get
example,
expelled.
no. But in terms of work, for example, like I guarantee you, if that person's parent was rich, that's not happening because you're not. There has to be a process before.
Yeah, but that's a variable that I can't control. Though.
That's my point, though.
That's not fair, though.
That's my point. It's not fair. So it shouldn't happen. In terms of, for example, wait this way, yeah. If I'm working, like for example, retail, yeah. If you do something bad, I have to give you a verbal warning first. So I say to you, Tazer, you've been late 4 times this week. I'm going to log it down to HR. This is a verbal warning. If you continue, it'll be a written warning. Cool.
Oh, so you're a snitch.
No, but that's what you have to do that though.
No, but that's what man are like at work, though.
Nah, boy.
That's what you say. You're a snitch.
Boy, I'm a snitch. In this environment, this doesn't. The
But
criteria
okay,
doesn't
cool.
work.
So now it's that environment at work. It's the same at school.
No, that's what I'm saying. But there's a process. That's my point. I can't just sack you for being late.
Okay,
No,
you
what
can,
I'm-
Marvin.
You can't, bro.
No. You can, but every workplace has their own way of doing it.
You
So
can't.
every place has their
You
own
can't.
rules and
Keith,
stuff like
you can't. I worked in. Think you can't.
No, but
sack
that's
someone
no. So
because
where you work,
you'll go to-
that was the company's guidelines. So if you go to another company, they might have a 1-strike rule.
No,
Some
you
other
could-
companies might have a 10-strike
no,
rule. So I think you said
and that's where you're going to get sued because
No, but
you
that
go to-
legally-
you go to tribunal. You can't get sacked like that. You have to give somebody a warning before you sack them. You can't. The only time you can sack someone like that is if they're in their probational period and their contract is not set in stone. The moment you sign your contract and you're a full-time member of staff, look at your contract. You can't get sacked like that.
No, okay, cool.
You
But
can't, bro. Within that 3-month period, whether you're in probation, you can go at any time. You know what? Because that's why employers have to kind of safeguard themselves. If after that 3-month period and you become a permanent member of staff, you can't get sacked like that because you go to tribunal. That's why you get companies saying I got sued for what's it called, unfair dismissal.
Yeah.
You get all
but
the
that's
time,
if
bro.
it's unfair. So
That's
literally,
exactly what me being late, for example, once you sack me.
but that's not unfair, bro. Like I'm saying, if I have rules in my company,
But
you
a
have to come
once,
here on
bro.
time or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's nice, but I'm saying if my rules are you have to be here at this time or whatever, if you're not there on that time,
Keith,
you know what I mean?
doesn't
I'm
want
gonna bring on
that.
Keith
somebody.
doesn't want
Once
that. Doesn't
it's
want that,
mad, though.
Keith. Doesn't want that. There's a process that has
I
to.
think it's
It's not nice.
There's a process that. No, remember, that's why every company has HR, bro, because the HR is independent. For example, if Tazer owns a shop, I own a shop, you own a shop. We're the law in our shop in terms of we fulfill the company's policies, guidelines, whatever. But we can still get it wrong. So if HR is above us to make sure Tazer's acting correctly, you're acting correctly, I'm acting correctly, and I've not moved overzealous or whatever, and
And-
also independent.
And also, there has to be correspondence to everything that you've done.
Yeah.
So you can't verbally tell me if you do this again, you're gonna get fired.
'Cause I can just say
You gotta do it in writing.
I can say to you it never happened.
Yeah.
I can say when was that?
Yeah.
Thursday. It never
But it's,
happened, bro.
but it's only to protect you and me.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So there's procedure in place. For example, I think it's verbal warning first, then written warning, then I think it's a meeting at HR. So you go into head office to say like, what's the issue? You've got this. Is there anything that we can do for you, or is there something going on in your workplace that we don't know about? If not, then if you do something else again, you're gone. But as you said, it's all written down, so the company protects themselves from any eventuality of you going to a tribunal or you saying I've dismissed unfairly. You weren't.
Okay, but does that apply to?
But I'm saying that should apply in schools as well to a degree where if a student does something mad, that they stab someone or they inappropriate or sexually abuse or something like that, cool, you go because it's something you've done that's mad. But if it's something that can be managed, like for example, you screw up to the teacher, you get suspended and say if that happens again, you're going to get excluded. That's it. But if to exclude someone at the beginning, you know how kids are. Kids can be dumb. I'm not saying I promote that, but whereas the same teacher was saying that with certain parents that know what they're doing, they'll send the email in and say, my kid, blah, 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 so-and-so, this, that. I'm going to go to the governors. I'm going to go to the board. teach you the shaking because they know, oh shit,
we didn't do our due
I need to
diligence
act
on our
properly.
end.
Where
Yeah.
certain people, you don't have to act properly, so you know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Did you not see the?
One sec, before you continue. In the UK, there's no legal requirement for employers to give a warning to an employee before terminating their employment. However, there are some situations where an employer may be required to provide a warning or follow a specific disciplinary procedure before terminating an employee's employment. But for the most part, like I said, they don't have to give you certain amount of chances or whatever. They can fire you. For example, if an employee is being dismissed due to performance issues or misconduct, the employer may be required to follow the ACAS code of disciplinary blah 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 grievances. The code requires recommends that employers follow a fair and consistent procedure when dealing with disciplinary issues, which includes providing the employee with clear information about the allegations against them, giving them an opportunity to respond to those allegations, and providing them with the right of appeal. Additionally, if an employee has been employed continuously for at least 2 years, they may be protected by UK employment law against unfair dismissal.
Exactly.
This means their employer must have a valid reason for dismissing them, such as redundancy, capability, or conduct, and must follow a fair procedure in doing so.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean you have to give them a warning. It has to be fair dismissal.
Brother, and the fair dismissal is a warning, bro. Brother, you can't I can't sack you today. That's not unless you do something mad. Like, for example, if you get caught stealing, you know what it is. It's done. You're toast. Like, as in, there's certain things you can do. If stealing money from a till, maybe doing something with a competitor, cool. But generally speaking, if it's most people's issues, even for example, pregnancy, if you have to hold a woman's, if she's on maternity leave, you have to hold a role for her, innit? You can't give that role away.
How long do you have to hold it for?
I think it depends on how long she's been away for. But then what happens is after maybe like, for example, there was one woman who worked in our workplace and she said she was on maternity leave for a year. But after the year, she was like, I still need more time with my kid. So when I spoke to HR, they were like, all right, what we do is you send her an email requesting when she will be back. She has a free option. I mean, she has free, what's it called again? 3 times she can respond to this email. So if she misses all 3 times, doesn't respond, her job's gone. Because now they're like, no, we sent you 3 correspondence, you didn't respond, your job's gone. But if she responds to any of those emails, then we have to hold her position but find out when her date is. But there's so much red tape with work and tribunals. Because remember, tribunals give and unions give workers a lot of power. That's why unions were created, because people, as you said, Keith, were getting sacked for no reason. And there was no one to kind of fight their corner. Whereas if you look at unions in the railways, that's where they're striking with
unfair payment and stuff like
teachers, unfair payment for people in NHS, whatever, because the unions are saying, nah, we're going to strike back. Whereas if those unions weren't there, everyone have to whatever the government says you have to deal with. Or whatever an employee does to you, you have to deal with. There's nothing you can do about it.
But the problem with, when you look at fairness and stuff like that, so let's say lateness, right? You know what I mean? In one place, it could be like, come on, this person's late one time.
Yeah.
So like I said, let's say you have maybe a company where, let's say you're dealing with a photo shoot or whatever, and then the person who's dealing with everything comes late with your equipment, or you were supposed to sort something out. Now this is overrun, so we're losing money essentially. You know what I mean? It's something as trivial as like a person was late one time, but you being late one time has cost the business a client, it's cost the business money, has cost, you know what I mean? So when you kind of factor certain things in, it may seem unfair because it's like, come on, the person's late one time. But when you're trying to run a tight operation, especially think about it, you're like, we're a business that's never been late to do XYZ.
No, but I hear what you're saying, Keith, but that'll be explained. That's what I'm saying. It will be
Yeah, but no, you have to.
It will be explained to you to say, listen, this is blah, 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 this is why this has happened, so on and so forth. It wouldn't be and if it was a knee-jerk since that person came in, you're late, you're fired at that moment in time. That's a completely different procedure to...
Also...
Do you know what I'm saying? Talking to them about it afterwards and as you said, giving them...
No, I'm not saying, you while out and, throw the person out. I'm like, at the end of the day, when the person is there, they're looking at this like, yeah, you ain't got a job
I think also it depends on the environment that you're in as well. Some environments, they allow you to kind of like come in whenever you want, just as long as you get the job done. Them environments exist as well, whereas the environment that Keith's talking about, I think that is also based on...
But that's flexible working though.
No, it's not flexible working. Your actual hours are 9 till 5.
No, but I'm saying, but like, for example, some people that work in like corporate, whatever, I know some people that can either do like a 8 till 4, a 9 till 5, or 10 till 6. Like, as long as you're in for those hours.
long as you
know
do
what I'm
your
saying?
8 hours.
As long as you do your 8 hours, it's fine.
Yeah.
Or some people, it's like you can take your break can be however long you want it to
As
be.
long as
as long as your work is done.
today is done.
Whereas retail, for example,
It's not
brother,
like-
you have 1 hour.
Yeah.
Be back because we need you on the shop floor.
45 minutes even.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, like different workplaces have different kind of
Retail's
schedule.
sick, you know. They'll give you an hour, they mean 45, you know.
Yeah, but with work, work is stressful, dealing with loads of people and stuff. And what happens as being manager and stuff, work, you can deal with where sometimes you want to be nice to people, or you want to give people free reign to do certain things, but it causes problems long term. So for me, I was kind of running my operation in the same way of I'm one of those, kind of employers where I'm not gonna, double check your work. I'm not breathing down your neck. I don't care when you come in or when you leave, as long as what I need done is done on time to the highest standard. But that works when it works. But sometimes it doesn't work because you find, with people, they get very relaxed with certain things and the structure. So for me, I find
you shouldn't be the manager then. You shouldn't be the manager.
No. So for me, but that was kind of it was a style of working that I kind of wanted to go by. But then I quickly realized it doesn't work, so I had to switch it up to a more structured way of working. Essentially, even like with my staff, I had a thing where people could, I was available to speak to, to everyone. Where people can contact you. I'll never forget one time, man messaged me at, I think it was like 10 p.m. and someone else messaged me at 8 in the morning. I had to call my GM, bro, and I was like, listen, these people, I don't ever want to hear from anybody ever again. You can't
they
have that
work
kind of
for
flexibility,
you.
No, it sounds crazy, but for me, I was like, with him, like, unless it's urgent or whatever, and I was like, these people, so we have a hierarchy essentially in terms of, I deal with the managers, like the management team, I deal with this person, and then everyone else kind of, they'll speak to them essentially, where for me, there's that kind of insulation where I don't have to deal with people I don't have to deal with. So with Fred, my GM, essentially, like, I will, in terms of his staff and so on and so on, if I have an issue with something someone's doing, I will always talk to him first before I would speak to any of the staff, essentially, because those are his people. I want to know why this and this and this. It would take for something crazy to happen for me to go direct and be sticking it on people.
It's like going back to school, as a reference, Ofsted can't come in and just walk into a class and talk to the teacher.
Yeah, they have to go.
They need to go speak to someone else,
and then
first,
they work.
So that person can now explain to them what that person is doing in that class.
No, they can sometimes though.
Just walk down the corridor and enter a
No,
classroom.
no, as not like that. As in, but they can walk into a school at any point in time.
No. Yeah, I'm not disputing that.
Say, follow me. To the headmasters, follow me.
Yeah, but no, they have to go up, like there's the
and then
hierarchy.
they come down.
Yeah, I hear that, but that, for example, there's no warning though.
No, I'm not saying there's warning.
Okay, cool.
What I'm saying is Ofsted can't just come in because they've got the badge and just walk into a class and be like, we don't like the way you're teaching. They have to speak to someone first, and that person, like Keith said, speak to Fred, and that person will relay, okay, that's what this person is doing in that class. If they don't see fit then you can go to the class and be like, all right, cool, miss, we need to have a meeting with you, and then you go. But you can't just walk in and be like, yeah, we don't like this because in school, in this area.
No, I don't think they do it like that. They just walk in and watch. So for example,
they can. No,
in terms of Ofsted, they'll just say to the head
days.
teacher, where's the math class? We're going to go, and they'll just sit, this is Ofsted,
classes.
and they'll just sit at the back and just watch how you teach, and teacher is sweating.
Stressed.
Because sometimes the teacher will give you a heads up and say, listen, someone's coming, use up, make sure you behave. But then sometimes when they just do the off-promptu one, brother, listen, the way teacher be looking at you, man chilling in the class with his legs like this.
Hey,
but work environments are stressed. You probably, experienced this, Marvin, where especially when you're in a managerial position and then people that work under you or whatever, or one person, so let's say you'll have a supervisor and this person, like, oh, why do I have to listen to this person? Or why do I have to, and you're just thinking, Jesus Christ, where, when you're dealing with certain issues, there was one time, there's a disagreement that's happened between, two of my managers or whatever. But I'm sitting there like I wasn't there. So, I'm not there. So I can't speak on what's happening. You're saying he said this, he's saying he said this. And I was like, I know what you want me to do, but I can't deal with this situation in that way because I wasn't there. I've not seen what's happened, especially if you haven't spoken to my man. So you've not pulled my man up about this. So I can't go and pull my man up because, like I said, there's what you say and there's what he says. If you then go and address this, or this little issue that you lot have, because it was an issue of something that was said that someone didn't like, and I was like, I hear that, but I was like, that's not a violation at work where like this person has broken the rules and done this. This is a disagreement you guys have. If you if you address this with this person and then maybe it continues on, then I can say something. But in this moment, I was like, if I ask him and he says he didn't say that, what do I say? Because I wasn't there.
But in that scenario, as a manager, you just pull them in both into the office and just say, listen, I've been hearing so-and-so, what's going on? That's it. Then if that's what he really said, you say it to his face. If he says I didn't say that, then at the end of the day, you say, boy, I might be misunderstanding, but from moving forward, I don't really want to hear anything more about
But
it.
you know what's crazy? They dealt with it, and you know what I mean.
That's
they
it.
get on now. But what's even worse is, have you dealt with? You know how foreigners? When I say foreigners, like French, Italian. These people are very blunt in how they speak. So it's not even being rude, but people that are just very blunt in how they speak, essentially. So now imagine, two people from two different parts of the world where they're just very abrupt in how they speak. Brother, misunderstandings galore. One of those ones where you're like, the person didn't mean it like that, So why did they say it like that? And you're sitting there thinking, I'm thinking, you say stuff like that. That's how you speak.